Good evening. Nice of you to join me again. I'm sure you might be asking yourself while we're looking at this little steel box, because on a night like this, when the sun falls and it's a little cool outside, it's coming into winter, another month or so I think winter is, I like to fire up the fireplace. Nothing's more homely than a few flickering flames from real wood. None of this gas, fake logs stuff. So please join me and indulge as I excuse me. I do tend to cheat a little bit with the fire lighting procedure, but that's the cheat. And no, that's not a block of sugar. I like to start by making a little bit of a well in the old ashes. Place the firelighter down there in the centre. I'll start with some twigs. Here's some twigs I found earlier. These all come out of my garden from the pruning process of the trees, and a lot of standing dead really. I've just kind of chopped down. See, I've got this house. It was nobody lived here for full time, at least for about 12 years. So when I bought this place, the garden was in a bit of a disarray, which I didn't mind. I liked a nice, wild, natural look, but you know, as time goes on a little bit, it's been getting a bit of a haircut, shall we say, a bit of a manicure. It's to be expected. I was hoping to keep it nice and wild, but the reality is it doesn't, it's not at its healthiest when it's in that state. Now I'm of the fire building school that I like to crisscross my kindling rather than make the sort of the teepee style. Teepee style isn't really my style. I think it can be done better, leaving small air gaps between, like this. No, I don't rub two sticks together either. I've got the fire lighter down the bottom there in the middle. Then we get a little bit of fire on the end of this stick. Right, just set that fire lighter up. Okay. Alright, that's just starting to take. Cool. Alright, now that I know that's going to work, save getting all the smoke inside the house, really, I'll just close that down and make sure we have the flue totally open. And from here, could have cleaned that a little bit, couldn't I? Here we go. that's not bad. It's better than it was. How about that? We'll just sit here and listen to the crackles of the heating wood. I've always never been sure of what the crackling is, and I've never really made the effort to find out either. But I always thought it was just the air inside the wood kind of expanding from the heat, pushing the wood fibres apart. Do you know why it crackles? How's your week been, anyway? Got up to anything cool? Anything interesting? Anything unusual? Yeah, I only just got home from work actually. I'm doing a job a bit out of town that we have to get done. We've only got 3 yesterday, today and tomorrow to finish it, so I've been working 10-hour days. Doesn't sound like a lot to some people, but it is to me. I live in a small town. We usually take it pretty easy. 8 hours is plenty enough. I didn't come to a small town to work hard. Came here to enjoy the lifestyle. But sometimes you still have to work hard. I just like to let that kindling catch on after the twigs of the glowing red now. Like that kindling to kind of get a bit of glow in it, make sure they're really going. See how with this crisscross style of kindling placement, the flames and air can really get between all the wood. Doesn't get choked up at all. Allows good flow, a lot of air to get underneath and really heat up the wood and get it burning nice and fast. When it's got a bit of heat in it, and I can sure feel the heat there. I like to just put a little more on here. These slightly larger pieces. Let them heat up. Oh, that's all cranky. Try not to burn your fingers. Yeah, come on. You can get in there. Come on, you bastard. There we go. Ouch. Yeah. Okay. go. That's going to be pumping out the heat in no time. Yeah, it already is. What I don't like about working in the 10-hour days outside is having your feet in your shoes for so long. Your feet get a bit smelly being in shoes that much. Mine do anyway. I'm used to being barefoot in the garden or in thongs or flip-flops if you like, or jandals, depending on where you come from as to what you call those. It's just nothing so mesmerising as a fire. My German brother-in-law calls it organic TV. About what it is. You can stare at it all night. It's probably better for you to stare at a fire than at TV all night though. Went for a drive on the weekend. Nothing exciting though. Nothing exciting. Just went up to Perth. Don't like driving to Perth. It's about 5 hours away. It's like 450 k's or so. It's okay, I guess. Most of it's, 110 kilometers an hour, and you can just press the cruise control and drive on it. It's a single lane highway most of the way. Actually pretty much all of the way except for the overtaking lanes. You go through a couple of small towns, but it's rural country, so it's not really exciting. You can go a much more interesting way if you want to go through the forest towards the northwest and then along the coast a little bit, but I think that way takes 6 or 7 hours. I just want the journey to be over. Having said that, for the first 2 hours or so of the drive, I'm a little bit, trying to get used to it. After the 2 hours, it's as though you get into a zone, or at least I do anyway, get into a zone where I don't need to stop anymore. I've done that many times through my life where 2, maybe 3 hours into the journey, if I don't have a reason to stop, I just don't stop. I'm just hoping I get into the driving zone. And I've driven, it's not too much of a boast in comparison to some people, but I have driven 13 hours with only stopping for fuel. I got fuel and snacks in the one stop and just that was in the days when, a lot of those times anyway, were in the days where I used to smoke cigarettes. And so any time that I felt tired behind the wheel, I'd just grab the tobacco and roll up a cigarette and smoke it. So yeah, I was having a cigarette every half an hour or 20 minutes. But the countryside just flies by, and you're covering, 500, 600, 700 kilometers, and before you know it, and then you get tired enough to want to sleep, and the problem is you stop to sleep. And your head is just buzzing. It's because it's used to the road moving, and when you stop, you suddenly wake up. You can't go to sleep. I think that fire's going quite well now. Roaring, you might even say. Just close that flue a little bit. Try and slow it down. I do like a roaring fire. What's the longest drive you've done? Or in time and distance, whatever. Alright then, time and distance. Sometimes they're not going to be the same depending on your journey. Yeah. It's not bad. It's pretty impressive actually. I think the best I've done was 13 hours, but I drove from Brisbane southwest-ish through New South Wales to Port Augusta in South Australia, and then I started heading directly north to Alice Springs from there. Which was alright. I did a drive with a friend of mine. We drove from Kelowna in Canada, in British Columbia. We drove from Kelowna to Las Vegas in 24 hours. We did stop, I think, for 4 hours to sleep, and we took turns at driving. But that was pretty good. I think that was a reasonably long drive. We had to find it was a rental car. We had to find one of those cars one of those rental companies that don't charge you for the kilometres. Can't remember which one it was, but we did find one. Most of them give you whatever it is, 100 or 200 kilometres a day, and then they charge you so many cents per kilometre after that. We did the maths on that, and that was going to work out quite terribly for us. So we had to find the company that didn't charge for the kilometres. They said unlimited. Oh boy, did we put some kilometres on that car. There must have been, I guess that's for a round trip of about 4,500 kilometres. Not bad. One of those little Kia Soul cars. They're okay. Decent on fuel. It said no smoking in the car. Oh, we smoked. We smoked the shit out of that car. We cleaned it when we got home. Put some smelly stuff in it. Gave it back to them. No problem. Might put the kettle on. Are you interested in a cuppa? Oh, there's still some water in here. That's cool. I've got one of those fancy. Oh. What's the matter? One of those silly fancy kettles that one of those silly fancy kettles that demand attention. Why are you beeping? Please don't beep anymore. Just boil the water. Good Lord. What a fuss it makes. My next kettle will not be electronic. My next kettle will definitely be just a plain old click the button. Button and be done type of kettle. Mind you, I didn't pay for this one, but it's just as well. That was the door. Relax. It was the door, not me. Okay. Just gonna get a teaspoon here. Stir a little bit in. Bit of the honey. I don't drink tea very often. I should though. Quite good for you. I've just got my little, got my little outdoor chair here. It's the only one that places me at the right height to really enjoy the fireplace. A lot of that crackling has stopped now. Me? Oh, yeah, today just a continuation of work from yesterday, really. We removed a roof on a small building at the local water treatment plant, and we had to completely remove half of the roof so they could crane in a new machine going into the room, and that was yesterday. And then today we rebuilt the roof. Well, we half rebuilt it yesterday, but we finished rebuilding it today. And then I'm also changing the ceiling inside the room, inside the building. So yeah, I've just been putting up new ceiling framing, trimming it out and getting it ready for gonna put some fibre cement sheet ceiling lining in there. Did the first oil change on the old 80s series in a since it's had its new motor built, so that was nice. I mean, it's had the oil changed before, but it was the mechanic, because the engine was under warranty. It was the mechanic who was changing the oil. So about 5,000 kilometers ago it ran out of warranty, so I'm doing the oil now, half the price. He was charging me about, he's not expensive, he was charging me about $260 for an oil change. But I can do it for about $100 less because I don't have any labour charge. Sure, I pay more retail for the oil and the oil filter, but overall it works out a little cheaper. I still use genuine oil filter, the same as what the mechanic does. And then I drove the car to Perth, and it was good. Had my wife with me in the car on the way up. Always a pleasure, of course. She tends to do a lot of work on the laptop while we're driving. She's always filling her time with activities. Such an industrious woman. Beautiful and industrious. A little opposite to me. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying before though, because we've been doing 10-hour days. I get home at 5 or 5:30, and sunset is 5:30 these days, coming into winter. So I've not been able to do any work any landscaping in the garden. I'm doing some landscaping at the moment, and yeah. But anyway, this job's not going to last too long, so I'll get back into it maybe later in the week or next week. She wasn't with me on the return trip though from Perth. I left her in Perth. She wanted to go to a friend's birthday party today, actually. So I left her there for a few days after I had been, and so I did the drive. Of course, I did the drive back on my own. You know, when I was a single man, I used to do a lot of driving, and I used to like picking up hitchhikers. Always meet somebody interesting. They've always got good stories to tell about their journey and their travels. It's a sad time these days, since they made hitchhiking illegal. Yeah, I guess a couple of hitchhikers were murdered I guess Wolf Creek was the movie that was made about something like that. The Langolo State Forest incident there. But, you know, I don't think that's why it was made illegal. I'm not quite sure what the reasoning was, but yeah, they made hitchhiking illegal. I don't know when, a few years ago. And now you don't see any hitchhikers on the road anymore. There are no people just cruising around on foot, hardly ever, unless it's for a cause. You know, you see those people like people who cycle around Australia, or you know, there's a guy at the moment, he's walking from from Carnarvon in northwestern Australia. He's walking to Sydney along the coastline. He came through this town a few weeks ago. Oh, a few weeks? Yeah, nearly a month ago. He's dressed in a cat suit and he's pushing a wheelbarrow full of stuff for some kind of cause. I don't look at what the cause is, but they're the only people you ever see on walking the sides of the roads anymore. I used to enjoy picking up hitchhikers when I lived in Canada for a few years there. When was that? 2008 to 2012. I remember, I picked up a couple of hitchhikers on my journey. Always interesting people. Yeah, something we no longer get to enjoy in this country. A bit like fireworks. And over east, where I came from in New South Wales at the time, it was 1984 was the last year we had fireworks. After that, you weren't allowed to buy them anymore. People lose their hand every year, or something blows up in their face. But it's nothing compared to the fun that so many more people have. I think some people might have even started bushfires with them. I don't know. I must be getting old, reminiscing about all the way things used to be and how much I enjoyed it and how things aren't like that anymore and blah blah blah. Don't get me wrong though, the world is still beautiful, just in an ever-changing way. The highways are much better now, much safer. You can get from point A to point B much faster, much more conveniently. Cars are quieter. Get Spotify along your whole journey. I remember here we go again. I remember before having a CD player in the car even. When the radio is out of range, that's it, you're out of music. Hope you brought a tape. Hope you like the tape you brought. I've driven countless hours with no music. I still do it, actually. Often. If I'm on my own in the car, I just listen to the car and the sound of the wheels on the tarmac. Listen to the beat of the engine, the hum, the rhythm, the whistle of the wind. I just think about what's been happening. Have imaginary conversations with myself about things that I've done wrong or done right, or things indeed that never happened at all. So relaxing. Yeah, love this. Just breathing in deeply and then out again. Feeling the warmth of the fire on my face. The warmth of the tea in my chest. You know, it's so quiet and relaxing. I'm just going to move my chair back a little bit because this fireplace is starting to warm up. But what I want to do, let's just come over here and grab a ye old guitar. This is my favourite guitar. I've only got a couple. This one's, just flash it in front of the fireplace. Just quickly. Oh, look at all that. Oh yeah, that's right. It's an Ibanez Art Core. It's by no means indicative of the way that I play. It's a very good guitar and I'm not a very good guitarist, but Mama told me when I was young, come sit beside me, my only son, and listen to closely to what I say. If you do this, it will help some sunny day. Take it slow, don't live too fast. Troubles, they will come, they will pass. And you'll find a woman, yeah, you'll find love. Just remember, my son, there's someone up above. Be a simple kind of man. Be something you love and understand. Be a simple kind of man. Won't you do this for me, son, if you can? Boy, don't you worry, you'll find yourself. Follow your heart and nothing else. You can do this if you try, if you try. All I want for you, my son, is to be satisfied. And be a simple kind of man. Be something you love and understand. Be a simple kind of man. Won't you do this for me, son, if you can? I hope you did like that song. Did you recognise it? It's actually my interpretation of a Lynyrd Skynyrd song called Simple Man, as the words, the lyrics might have alluded to. Yeah. Right, I think we can put that back. That's enough for right now. That's enough for today. I'm sure you don't want to hear me playing the guitar all night. Well, I mean, if you liked that, you probably do, but if you didn't like it, you certainly don't. Did you like it? Cool, cool. Well, it's pretty relaxing. But you look like you're asleep. I might put another log on this fire and just leave you to snooze. Ooh, how was that? That was a little bit noisy, wasn't it? Ouch, ouch. That's sitting right nice on the coals, and I'll blocks most of most of what you can see of the fire, but I love this little fireplace. I've only got a very small house, but that's okay, because this fireplace warms the whole lot within about 45 minutes. This whole house is warm. A little bit too warm. You'll notice the beautiful silver tape on the sides of the kitchen cabinets. Yeah, by the way, this fireplace is in the kitchen. It's a little bit weird, and it will be changed as I renovate this house. But this silver tape is on the sides of the cabinetry because the sides of the cabinetry get damn hot. And we were told that before we bought this place, the previous owner's friends had been here for a weekend and almost burnt the house down because the cabinetry started to catch fire. So to remedy that, there was some silver, I think it's called a metal tape, but some silver metal tape put here that reflects the heat. Why am I telling you that? You look like you're asleep. I'll just let you go.